Alright, let's get back into it. Umineko, we have just caught up to our episode 1 starting point at the airport. Finally, we've made it back. After our long journey through all kinds of prologue stuff in Chapter 2, we finally get back to what we've seen before and see how things change. What's different? What's the same? Maybe everything's the same for a little while and things will branch off a little later. I don't know. But let's find out. George practicing his proposal here in the bathroom of the airport. Inside a bathroom stall, George was practicing something over and over, taking out a small velvet box hidden in his pocket like a quick-draw desert gunman. I wonder what he could possibly be doing.
違うな。シャノンは牽引力のある男性が好きなんだ。
Is that so?
もっと馬力がある感じじゃないとダメだ。
I don't know about that. Does Shannon need men with lots of horsepower?
シャノン、これを薬指につけるんだ。
I didn't get that vibe from her that she needs assertive men.
命令だよ。
No, don't make it an order. Don't say you're furniture. You gotta follow my orders. So, I don't like it when you throw that in there.
ああ、左手とちゃんと言わないと右手にされちゃうかもしれない。いや、シャノンもそこまでかまととじゃないけど。
Don't take her for an idiot.
ああ、でも少しは自由意志がないとなんだかその。
Yeah. Oh. Oh my. George. My God. You better hope no one's in there. They're gonna think you're struggling on the toilet here. Yeah, leaving room for some free will is important. Please leave some. Oh. As he crossed his arms, muttering, someone knocked on the door. George was snapped back to reality.
Oh,
man, some of the people that died first, it's been so long. So long. Hello, Rudolph.
大丈夫か? 腹の調子でも悪いのか?
It definitely sounds like he does, doesn't it?
ルドルフおじさん。大丈夫です。平気です。ご心配は無用です。
そっか。ならいいんだけどな。無理して力みすぎるなよ。尻が切れちまうぜ。
I knew someone was going to mistake it for this. I knew it. Your ass'll burst. Thank you, Rudolph. Rudolph washed his hands, laughing cheerfully as he left. George, realizing that the most embarrassing part hadn't been overheard, relaxed and felt extremely relieved. Well, I mean, Rudolph has proposed twice. He might be able to give you some pointers here. Right? Kitty and Rudolph are married, correct? Yes, they are. Okay. Wanted to make sure they weren't just like partners. Well, like, you know, romantic partners. Oh, so long. I missed you, Kitty. You were awesome. You died so early, along with so many others.
遅いわね。
天候調整中だからいいようなもの。これで普段通りのダイヤだったらあいつ乗り遅れちまうぜ。
Oh, really? That is lucky. Oh my God. If you had missed the plane because you were getting Maria candy, you probably would have switched back into witch possession mode. Oh no.
そしたらどうする気なんだあいつ。
ローザさんだっていい年の大人よ。なんとかするわ。兄って人はいくつになっても妹を子供扱いなのね。
親父だっていくつになっても子供だけどな。
Battler, welcome.
だと俺が子供ならおめえは赤ん坊じゃねえか。ほれほれバトラちゃん、高い高い。
This is supposedly the first time they're seeing each other in 6 years, right? They do get along pretty well, I guess. They're acting very mature about it, I guess. If it is the first time they're seeing each other since Battler left hating his father.
やめろくすぐってやめ。
親子ってより悪ガキ仲間って感じね。
Though maybe they did see each other from time to time over the 6 years. Maybe does it say it's just when he like left the house? He went to live with his grandparents. It doesn't say he didn't see them. Like he seems very close, like almost like a friend with Kitty. So maybe you know, it's probably not the case that he just straight up didn't see his father and Kitty for 6 years.
ほら、いらしたわよ。
おおおお、
Hideyoshi.
ローザさんやないか。
Oh, I missed you too.
久しぶりやの。
Hideyoshi's awesome.
久しぶり。
There they are.
マリア、お久しぶりです。でしょ。言ってごらん。お久しぶりです。
そうや、よく言えたな。ご褒美に飴玉あげような。あれどこにしまったんや。
ローザさん、お久しぶりです。マリアちゃんもお久しぶり。
ご無沙汰してます、キリエ姉さん、秀吉兄さん。あら、バトラ君？
Okay, so we're actually repeating dialogue here for sure.
大きくなったわね。
いや
This is definitely like word for word the lines that we had at the start of chapter 1, I think.
恥ずかしいっすよ。
おうローザ、遅かったな。飛行機がダイヤ通りだったらギリギリってとこだったぜ。
ごめんなさい。列車の接続がうまく
At
い
least
か
I
なくて。
think so.
何？また天候調査中なの？
Although getting some context behind certain little things like that
ぼやかないぼやかない。船で6時間も揺られるくらい
is
なら
interesting.
飛行機でほんの30分の方がずっとマシよ。たとえ1時間余計に待たされたって全然早いんだから。
あれがマリアなのか。大きくなったな。成長期か。
前に会ったのは6年前？それは変わるわよ。
Yeah, it doesn't say how old she is, but I don't know how old she is, but she definitely seems like she's at the age where she wouldn't remember Battler very well if it's been 6 whole years. That'd be a large chunk of her life.
たった1日でも生まれ変わる生き物よ。
Maria, noticing a big man she didn't recognize mixed in among the relatives, hid behind Rosa's back and glared at Battler.
おいバトラ、挨拶しろい。
Right, and he does something that makes Maria warm up to him
前にやったの
very
が3歳の
quickly.
時じゃ。初対面も同じだぞ。
3. Okay, so she's 9 now. Gotcha.
3歳じゃ覚えてねえよな。よ、マリア。久しぶり。大きくなったな。
マリア、バトラお兄ちゃんよ。ルドルフおじさんの息子さん。
Maybe it's just her calling him Oni-chan that makes her warm up to him. Where she's like, oh, Oni-chan? He's Oni-chan?
おじさんの息子さんが、おじさんが息子さん。
Oh? She was obviously on her guard. After all, it was hardly surprising that she'd be scared if a large guy like Battler suddenly started speaking frankly to her. Battler noticed that as well and thought of various ways he might approach her. Yeah, what does he do? Then he spotted the candy she had in her hand. It was the jack-o'-lantern sweet Rosa had bought for her.
そっか、10月だからハロウィンか。お菓子をくれなきゃいたずらしちゃうぞ。
Okay, I don't remember him saying that, but maybe I'm forgetting. But yeah, I mean, this is specific to the sweets that she got. This wasn't brought up at the start of chapter 1, was it? Normally, trying to snatch a sweet away from a small child will result in them crying and screaming. Oh, and of course, that's exactly what she was saying on the train. If you don't give me sweets, I'll play a prank. The adults seemed dubious about Battler's tactics, but Maria looked unexpectedly pleased, her face splitting into a wide grin. Yeah, because that's what she played. This seems different.
こら、バトラお兄ちゃんと呼びなさい。
I don't remember them going in about Halloween and the sweets.
ごめんね、バトラ君。
いやいや、気にしないっすよ。俺はバトラと呼んでくれ。俺もマリアって呼ぶからな。ほらマリア、ハロウィンだぞ。お菓子をくれなきゃいたずらしちゃうぞ。
お菓子をくれなきゃいたずらしちゃうぞ。
Is that like a common Japanese saying, maybe? From inside her purse, Maria picked out a jack-o'-lantern sweet similar to the one she had in her hand and presented it to Battler. When Battler accepted it, that seemed to be enough to confirm their friendship. The adults were amazed at how good children can be at getting along with each other. Maria had been throwing a tantrum because she wanted a Halloween festival, so Battler, who knew about trick-or-treating, must have felt like an ally. Her defensive posture from before was completely gone. Now she was all cheery, as though they'd been good friends for decades.
そうだな。日本じゃハロウィンってマイナーなイベントだよな。仮装行列で練り歩くなんて、向こうのニュースではよく見るけど、日本じゃ見たことないぜ。
マリアも仮装したかった。仮装していとこみんなでお菓子をくれなきゃいたずらしちゃうぞってやりたかった。
そっかそっか。今度俺と一緒にやろうな。マリアだったら何の仮装をして練り歩きたい？
Well, which, of course.
魔女ベアトリーチェ。
Oh, as Beatrice. Yeah? So, obviously different stuff at the airport. Are we going to skip ahead? Or are we just... Oh. Oh my.
おや、お嬢様、こんなところに。
She was waiting by where the boat... Or no, she was waiting by where the plane landed and rode the boat with them, I believe, to Rokkenjima. So has she just not made her way there yet?
奥様が探しておいででしたよ。
By she, actually, I mean both of them rode the boat with them into Rokkenjima.
探されたくねえからこんなところにいるんだぜ。どうせみなりは大丈夫かとか、言葉遣いをちゃんとするようにとか、お小言が言いたいだけに違いないぜ。
違いありません。
私はさ、なぜか親族会議の日になると、この魔女様が気になるんだよ。
Is that so?
ほう。 それはまたどうしてでございましょう。
親族会議ってのはじいさまに連なる全ての一族老頭が集まる日だ。今年は6年ぶりにバトラも来るそうじゃねえか。そんな感じでさ、何十年かぶりに今までずっと姿を現さなかった親族がひょっこりと現れるんじゃないかっていつも
Sort
思
of
ってる
like
んだ。
how Genji was telling Canon that they are having a very important guest.
ほほう、そんな親族がおりますでしょうか。
ベアトリーチェ様だよ。素性は誰も知らない。あるいは大昔のじいさまの愛人なのか。その子孫がひょっこり
Does
と
that
現
make
れ
her
て
family if
授
she's
けた黄金を返せなん
Kinzo's
て言い出す
mistress?
かもしれないぜ。
Oh, you mean if she had a child with Kinzo, you mean?
クラウス様たちは親方様の遺産問題で今年も議論されるでしょうから。
That couldn't be the case, right? Where someone we know in the cast is Beatrice's descendant, not descendant, it was like Beatrice's child or grandchild. That'd be a twist.
こうも魔女の黄金の話で盛り上がっては、黄金を与えた魔女本人がそろそろおいでになってもおかしくありませんね。
熊沢さんはさ、辞めたり勤めたりと忙しいけど、現実さん並みに昔からここに出入りしてるわけでしょ。ベアトリーチェのこともっと知ってるんじゃないの？
さて、どうでしょうね。
Why are you being all sketchy this time around, Kumasawa?
思い出そうにもこの老いぼれ、今朝の朝食すらも思い出せませんので。
Well, she was kind of like that at the beginning. Beginning of chapter 1, she was telling like the stories and all that, trying to scare people on the boat ride over.
熊沢さんはいっつもそういう言い方で逃げるけど、何か知ってそうなんだよな。知ってて物陰で笑ってるみたいな陰湿な雰囲気が時々するぜ。
Absolutely feels like that. Yes. She got completely terrified once all the shit started to go down in chapter 1 when people started dying, assuming that wasn't an act. But I've always been suspicious of her, especially when she walks out in the hallway by herself and starts talking to the viewer with no one else around, out loud, explaining, like, you know, giving exposition. It was always weird to me.
これは手厳しい。隠し事など何もしておりません。
That's someone with someone with secrets would say.
私から申し上げら
Can't
れ
even
るこ
talk
と
right
は
now.、
ベアトリーチェ様は黄金の魔女であられて、この島の夜を支配されているもう一人の主人であられるということだ
That
けで
is
ございます。
information we have, yes.
じいさまの受け売りかよ。
I never said this before, but is this supposed to be a younger looking Beatrice? Like, can't tell if it's supposed to be sort of a aged down version of her or something. Obviously the art style is quite different, but I wonder if it's also supposed to be a different age. And the one we see, the sprite, is a more grown up version.
給料もらってるとはいえ、じいさまの妄言に付き合うのも大変だな。
ただ、これだけは申し上げられます。
Whoa, she got serious fast.
何？
六軒島は太古の昔、 小豆島と呼ばれて恐れられてきました。
Azukishima.
小豆は悪時期がなまったものと言われ、本当は悪時期島と呼ばれていたのだと漁民たちの間では伝えられておりました。
前にも聞いたよ。この辺は暗礁が多くて海難事故が多かったから領民たちが恐れてむやみに近づかなかったって話だろ。
悪時期島には悪霊が住み着いていて、太古の昔から人々の魂を喰らい続けてきました。この島に関わり命を奪われた人間はあまりにも多いのです。
それを旅の修験者だかなんだかが例の社を作って鎮魂したんで収まったってんじゃなかったっけ？
A monk, a traveling shugenja. I want to look up what a shugenja is. Have I done that before? Did I do that like a few episodes ago? Shugenja. Let's see. Practitioners to find supernatural power and save themselves. Warrior priests, bandit monks. Okay. Get a very vague idea of what that is. Okay, so they built the shrine that somehow was dampening Beatrice's powers and magic.
うさんくせえ話だぜ。
Before
鎮魂の社は
Shannon went and destroyed
暗
it.
き闇を引き裂く紫色の不気味な雷で打ち砕かれたとか。
Is that what they're assuming it was? Just a thunderbolt? Huh.
Kumasawa さんその話好きだな。
Interesting.
確かに鎮魂の社が落雷でなくなっちまうなんて不気味だが、まあもともとオンボロだったしな。ちょっと高い波にでもさらわれたんじゃねえのかな。
眠りから目覚めた悪時期島の悪霊がベアトリーチェ様を呼び寄せたのです。もしベアトリーチェ様が親族会議に訪れられるようなことがあったなら、
I don't think they woke and summoned her. She was kind of already around and asked for it to be destroyed. If she pays a visit to the family conference, well, everyone's gonna die. Because the demon's roulette will begin. Kumasawa fell silent for a moment. Jessica was pressing her to keep going, so that gap felt strange and eerie. When Kumasawa noticed that she had Jessica plenty scared with her silence, she grinned broadly.
はてさて、どんなことになるやら。
Oh, don't play those games. God damn it, Kumasawa.
へえ、そいつは素敵じゃないかよ。
Rudolph. Is this a flashback? What is this desk?
でしょ？たまには優雅な時間を得て、あなたの心を豊かにするのも、あなたの仕事に役に立つんじゃないかしら。
だな。心と財布は豊かじゃなきゃいけねえ。
Okay.
わかったよ。その日は開けておくことにする。予約を頼むぜ。
わかったわ。絶対よ。
ああ、よろしく頼む。愛してるぜ、キリエ。
After kissing the receiver, Rudolph hung up. Before his seat, there were several executives with their sleeves rolled up, eagerly awaiting the end of that phone call.
すまん、待たせたぜ。
Okay.
アメリカから連絡は来たか。
はい。外線にデイル渡辺弁護士からです。
Dale Watanabe. Classic man from the States. Good old Dale.
おつなぎします。
結局のところ、感触はどうなんだ。
それが一つ芳しくないようでして。先方は裁判を持ちさないつもりのようです。
Okay, now I remember that everyone was having issues and bad luck with their businesses and such, financial problems. Hold on, I'm just looking at my notes because I'm pretty sure I wrote down what was wrong with Rudolph's. Here. Rudolph accused by American company of taking away their rights. Okay. Okay. This is probably what we're getting into here.
やっぱりごまかしきれねえかな。つないでくれ。
わかりました。すぐに。
The executive ordered that the external line be transferred to the secretarial line. At once, the phone in front of Rudolph rang.
もしもし。Hello, hello.
Oh, are we gonna get some awesome English from Dale of the States?
お待たせしました。
Oh wait, no, that's Rudolph talking. Sorry, whoops.
どうもどうも。いかがですか、そちらは。
Hello, President 後宮。
Oh, hell yeah. Give me that English.
挨拶は抜きで本題。
Oh no! Damn it, I need more.
いいニュースと悪いニュースがありますが、どちらを先にしますか？
悪いニュースが先がいいな。デザートがないと頑張れないたちなんだ。
わかりました。悪いニュースは先方が東方を告発する準備に入ったということです。つい先日、類似した裁判で原告が圧勝する判決が出されました。被告側も東方が主張するのと同じ内容で論戦していたのですが、全てにおいて却下されました。残念ながらこのまま法廷に臨めば東方の主張はことごとく却下される可能性が極めて高いでしょう。
例の裁判全滅だったか。うちより有利な条件だったと思ってたんだが、そりゃ辛いな。で、いいニュースは？
先方の幹部と接触できました。先方に東方の立ち位置を説明し、
Tarnishing the brand's image.
先方のブランドイメージを侵害する意図がないことを説明し、理解を得ることができました。先方は近日中に条件提示を行い、それらの履行が行われるなら告発を見送ると約束しました。
I do wonder how far back in time we just went.
感触は？
Months? Weeks?
取締役会のナンバー2による発言です。正直、非常に厳しいものになると予想されます。当方の想定では避けられないものとして、社名変更、ブランド名変更、交渉の余地のあるものとして和解金額、大手新聞への謝罪広告掲載、それらの履行期間と見ています。
うちに潰れろと一言言やいいのに、周り
先方は近年2代目社長に交代したばかりで、 まだ足固めが終わっていません。東方が徹底抗戦した場合、現社長に失点を与えたい勢力が何らかの利的工作をしかねないと懸念しています。そのため先方トップも本件を速やかに解決したいという思惑があるようです。そのため迅速な和解のために多少の条件緩和を引き出せる余地も残っているかもしれません。
いずれにせよとんでもねえ金が必要になるか。
その覚悟は必要です。
So we're adding what's the word I'm looking for? We're adding motivations and such. Not the word I'm looking for, but that's okay. Adding motivations for everyone, you know, to go harder on trying to get that that inheritance money.
そしてそれでも懲罰的賠償金よりははるかに安いかと。
ありがとう先生。また進展があったら連絡してください。先生は高級鳥だからヨタ話もできねえ。サンキューサンキュー。グッバイ。
Thank you, thank you. Goodbye. Love it. Rudolph hung up the phone. The executives sitting in the reception seat seemed to have guessed at the contents of that discussion.
聞こえたか野郎ども。まあそうじるとだ。金さえ積みや堪忍してやるぜってわけだ。
Where to get it? Well,
あとは金の
Kinzo.
高だけを争点にすりゃいい。
しかし社長、渡辺氏の示した和解金の想定額はあまりにも膨大です。それだけの余裕はありません。
こんなことになるって分かってたら高くかなんて始めんじゃなかったぜ。
3年しのげれば資金的危機は脱出できる計算でした。まさかここで刺されるなんて本当についてない。
ホップステップジャンプのステップでこけちまったんだもんな。泣けるぜ。
メインバンクから金を引っ張るしかありません。
銀行はまずいな。連中は勝ち馬にしか金を出さん。景気は上向いてるが銀行に弱みは見せられねえ。
社長、妨害に資金はありますか？
Well,
我々の把握していない資金です。
よせやい。俺がそういう男に見えるかよ。俺の財布の中身は全てお前らに晒してるぜ。そこにある帳簿が我が社の全てだ。
なら金策が必要です。数百万ドル単位を引っ張れるスポンサーが大至急必要です。
社長の交友関係で何とかなりませんでしょうか。
okay.
社長。
ああ、落ち着けて
I
な。
understand. I don't fully understand the situation, but I understand what we're doing.
お前らはガタガタせずに業務を維持しろ。金さえ積めば向こうは許すと言ってるんだ。
I don't think the finer details of his situation are
すでに俺
necessarily
たちは
important.
アジアに太いパイプを持ってる。
I think the big idea
いろい
here
ろ
is
響くだ
that
ろうが取引は維持できる。
he needs additional money.
要は金さえ積めりゃ全て解決できる問題なんだ。見てろ、俺が全て解決する。お前らを路頭に迷わせなんかし
And
ねえ
there are
ぞ。
people who are relying on him to get that
大
money.
船に乗った気でいろい。無事に解決したらお前ら全員をシャンパンタワーでねぎらってやるぜ。約束する。だから黙って俺についてこい。いいな。
The airplane suddenly shook, probably due to turbulence. Rudolph was jostled awake. He'd woken early that morning and ended up drifting to sleep while resting in his seat.
大丈夫？ まだだいぶ眠いんじゃないの？このところだいぶ仕事が忙しかったようだし。
仕事が忙しいなんて大いに結構じゃねえか。俺が暇になっちまったら俺たち明日から路頭に迷うぜ。
そうね。バトラ君も帰ってきたんだから、二人で物乞いすればいいって問題じゃないわよ。
そうだな。6年ぶりに家族が揃ったんだからな。家族水入らずで過ごせるよう課長が頑張らねえとな。
When he looked out of the window, he saw that the airplane had already started to drop in altitude considerably. The fishing boats, which had only looked like black grains a short while ago, were starting to become clearly recognizable.
親父に土下座してげんこつ一発で1000万借りられるなら1ダースくらいもらっときてえところなんだから。
$100,000 for every slug? Yeah, why not?
さもなきゃとっととお隠れになってくれりゃいいんだが。
Well, you kind of lose the sympathy card when you, for me, when you just make comments like that.
散々すねをかじって今度は遺産目当てか。俺は地獄行きだな。
Yeah.
そりゃこんな俺に親父も会いたくはないだろうよ。
まさか今年も親族会議にお出にならないつもりですか
な。Nanjo looked at Kinzo's face, sighing. No, he's not going to come down this time. Kinzo's eyes remained rooted to a strange book on magic.
ハゲタカどもの議論に加わるつもりはない。
Just let me hear you say the bead word one time, please.
好きに我が骨のしゃぶり方でも議論するがよかろう。
I need that sweet release. I mean, Kinzo, you're absolutely right. That's all they're here for. Don't blame me.
やれやれ、困ったものですな。
Nanjo shook his head slightly. To him, children and grandchildren were lovely things. He believed watching them grow was the only way to truly enjoy old age. Well, yeah, but I mean, about 60 seconds ago, we saw one of his children talking about how they wish he would just die already so they could have his money. So, Nanjo, he's not overreacting here. He's got a point. So Kinzo's words were very saddening to Nanjo.
この部屋を出るべき時が来れば私は姿を現す。あれが姿を未だ現さぬようにな。
You did leave the room, but you didn't show yourself until we found your body stabbed in the head and burnt to a crisp in the basement. So, is that what you mean when you say if you have to leave the room, you're going to show yourself? Your corpse? When Kinzo raised his face, his gaze pointed at the portrait of the witch, which was respectfully displayed on the wall. Please say it. Say the B word. Kinzo's mind didn't dwell for a moment on the fact that today was the family conference, where all of his beloved relatives would gather. It was filled only by the face of the witch in the oil painting, who never smiled except inside the portrait. Everyone knew that interrupting Kinzo when he talked about Beatrice would trigger his wrath. She smiles all the time. Half the time it's very evil, cackling, villainous smiles. It's not just in the portrait.
私は今日ある儀式を執り行う。
A demon's roulette. Yes, you will.
それは何ですかな？
I'm sorry, Nanjo. Even you will be dying from this.
儀式というよりは博打に近い。なぜならリスクを負わぬ魔法に奇跡は宿らぬからだ。
Right. We did learn that. Nanjo had heard Kinzo say this many times before. You might even call it a pet phrase of Kinzo's. Kinzo apparently believed that magic and miracles could occur if you gambled your own fate with a certain amount of risk and triumphed. And of course we know he's going to gamble and lose.
かつて黄金のギャンブラーと言われた金蔵さんがいつお迎えが来てもおかしくないそのご老体で
The Golden
一体どんな
Gambler.
博打に挑みますやらこれは見ものですな。
No, Nanjo, you're part of it too. You don't want to stay and watch.
なるほど。研究を尽くした秘術の儀式も魔法にたけぬお前にかかれば博打呼ばわりか。まあいい。奇跡を信じる私が勝てばお前の目には水郷にしか見えなかったであろう我が研究のすべてがこの日に結実したことをはっきりと理解できるだろう。お前が勝てば見たままの通りいつ迎えが来てもおかしくない年寄りの水郷に終わるだけだ。
一体どんなギャンブルを始めるやら。あなたの友人としてその賭けにいや儀式でしたか。その儀式にあなたが勝てるよう心からお祈りするだけです。
Well...
感謝する。
そういえば金蔵さん、今年の親族会議には懐かしい客がおられるそうですな。
Who are they talking about? Battler's the only one that shows up that hasn't been here in a long time, but that's not who they keep talking about when they're talking about the very special guest coming.
何?
For once, Kinzo reacted to Nanjo's words and turned around.
ほら、ルドルフさんのところのバトラ君です。
Oh. So that is who you're referring to. That can't be who... It can't be who Genji was telling Canon about, right? There's no way.
6年ぶりにおいでになるそうじゃありませんか。きっと立派になっていますよ。
なんだ、バトラか。6年ぶり程度の客人など懐かしいなどと呼びはせぬ。
Yeah, Kinzo seemed to, be curious, like, oh, who? And then he heard Battler. He's like, oh, just Battler. After hearing Battler's name and making a disappointed and ill-humored expression, Kinzo turned his back again.
金蔵さんにとっての6年など、この部屋で研究に没頭すればあっという間のことでしょうからな。
本当に懐かしい客はあるいは訪れるかもしれん。すべてはルーレットの出目次第だ。
Okay, so yeah, they're talking about someone else. Don't know who, but Kinzo has someone else in mind, and I'm sure whoever Kinzo has in mind is who Genji had in mind.
すでにルーレットは回り始めている。
Well, okay, I mean, who they have in mind must be Beatrice, right? Must be. If the longed-for guest depends on the results of the roulette, then yeah, it's got to be Beatrice.
ルージュか。 ノワールか。
Rouge or Noir?
今宵ルーレットがどんな奇跡を見せてくれるのか楽しませてもらおうではないか。配当は大きいぞ。そして負ける気はせぬ。
Alright, we'll spin it again, see what we get this time around.
我が賭けを受けるがいい。
At that time, the telephone on the table rang. The piercing sound seemed to irritate Kinzo, and he picked up the receiver to preserve the silence as much as he could.
何事か。私は忙しい。
源氏でございます。親族の皆様方が到着なされました。
だからどうしたというのだ。適当に茶でも出せばよい。
Okay, we've skipped the boat trip and everything.
かしこまりました。そのようにいたします。
Kinzo hung up the phone rudely. Looking at that, Nanjo sighed yet again and shifted his attention outside the window. As he is now, I doubt Kinzo would pay any heed to any sort of guest. Could any guest possibly make Kinzo come out when the time comes, as he said? I can think of one. Kinzo had a single person in mind, but that was a guest who certainly wouldn't appear. Well, Nanjo stared at the witch of the portrait with her impassive expression, unable to decide whether she was smiling or sad, and then gazed up at the lead-colored sky. Oh. What? What? Welcome back to Rockinjima. Achievement unlocked. Okay. Perfect stopping point. I don't know what's going on. But, we're at 50 minutes. Something new is happening. Perfect time to transition to a new video. Okay. Well, things are slightly different as far as the small bits of conversation that changed in the airport. We will see what continues to change. I don't know what's going on. This is a new song, I'm fairly certain. But yeah, damn. Things are getting going again. Round 2 of the roulette is going to start. Sounds good. And Beatrice is waiting and ready. Okay. Well, thank you for joining me, and next time we will check out what the hell is going on here. So I will see you then. Goodbye.